Hi and welcome. My name is Denise. I am a reseller on Poshmark and I like to talk numbers. So I am always entertained by people's content who provide us with thrift hauls and love to go shopping and do ship with me videos, which I am notorious for both of those. But what actually happens to those items once someone buys them? Do they sit and sit? Do they sell right away? I'm here to talk about my April sales, specifically 23 items that sold in 8 days or less. Now, of course, I wanted to do a week or less, but let's be honest, I'm not going to drop a sale out of this conversation because it sold in 8 days instead of 7. So I'm calling it right now. These items sold in 8 days. So I'm going to quickly run down the numbers before getting into the actual 23 items. I sold 23 items. The average sales price was $60.20. The total sales of these 23 items were $1,385. After Posh fees, I walked away with $1,108. And my cost of goods was $180.83. You will see that I think about 3 or 4 of these items I didn't have a cost of goods on to put out for this just because they came from my personal closet or from a friend. My profit on these items was $927.17, which means I made $40 per item. For the most part, a $40 walking away, a profit of $40 on each of these items is incredible. Okay, now I just want to share quickly, how do I get this information? There are 2 ways to get this information if you're curious and you're not sure how to gather it. The first way to get this information is to go to My Sales. And once you're in My Sales, on the left-hand side, it'll say Sales Report. You click on Sales Report and then you can choose year to date, all time, or a date range. I chose from April 1st to current, which is the 27th. Poshmark will then email you this report. The second way, which is really fun to just get a sense of how things are selling, is to just go in the app, click on your closet, click just in. When you toggle to just in, you'll see all the items that are fresh in your closet and it shows available and sold. As you scroll, are you just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and not seeing sold? That may mean that your items aren't selling as quickly. For me, I started scrolling and I noticed sold, 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 and I was like, wow, that's what inspired this video. So just simply click on your closet. Always be discovering and looking. Let's get started with what these items were that sold, because it's a pretty interesting variety. And I don't have these in any particular order. I do have the 23 items split into 2 categories, and 1 is brand new listings and 2 is reposts. If you've watched my channel before, I always discuss items that are 60 days or older. They get reposted in my closet. They get copied, the old listing gets deleted, and then they are fresh in the brand, in my closet, all of those things. So you'll see how many of these items that were actually reposted and sold within days. I think it's a very viable category, and actually it's a great strategy because you don't have to go out sourcing, you don't have to photograph, you don't have to scrub and clean anything. You just simply need to copy your listing and delete the old one. Voila. I personally use Posh Sidekick to do this, but you can do it manually as I did for about a year. Let's get started. New listings, 5 days. Dansko Marisol clogs, beautiful nubucky color. I had them listed for $88. They sold for $70. I knew these were hard to find. They're kind of a putty color. They're a special style of Dansko. They have a little bit of a more Euro kind of artsy soul to them. I always pick up the Marisol clogs. Second item to sell in 4 days was a Johnny Was jean jacket. I picked this up for $19.99. At the same time, my thrift store had a thermal Johnny Was shirt pre-owned for, I think, $59 or something. So I saw this in the case. It was locked up behind glass and I was afraid at what the price was gonna be, and it was $19.99. I snatched it up right away. This jean jacket sold in 4 days. Now I'm going to say that doesn't mean all Johnny Was has that sell-through rate. For me personally, Johnny Was is not a fast seller. The first time I found Johnny Was, I was so excited. It literally took 9 months to sell the shirt I had found. The next item to sell in 4 days was On Running Cloud Rock. They're kind of a high top on running shoe. They call it like a hiking boot. These were smaller. I want to say something like a 6.5, and sometimes I hesitate on size, but the condition of these trumped anything I feel about size. They sold for $100 and I had them listed for $125. I paid $13.99 for them. The next item to sell, I've had a little discussion about over on Instagram, and maybe I'll just embed the video while I'm talking here, was a pair of Travis Scott Air Force Ones. Now, Travis Scott is famous. He collabs with Nike, and I was actually shocked to see these. I happened to be there when the fresh bins were coming out, so these weren't overlooked by other people. I had first dibs on these straight out of the bin from the back. They sold in 5 days. I had them posted for $99. They sold for $75. Now here's the deeper discussion. These sneakers were so dirty, and I wouldn't pick up just any old Air Force Ones that were kind of beat to me. They were in dirty, dirty condition. And this is what I first do. If I see an item, oh wow, these are Travis Scott Air Force Ones. I know comps on these are gonna be incredible, but hey, they're not in great shape. Is this worth my time? So this is what I look at first. I look at the condition of the sole, flip them over, look at the heels. If there's not a lot of wear there, they're potentially viable. I noticed a little tear and a seam on the side. I noticed a little hole in the back on the inside where the heel is, which is super common in shoes, especially running shoes. These aren't running shoes, but just saying, when you're looking at condition of sneakers, look at soles, look at the inside where the heel is. That's usually a place where sort of hidden wear shows up, and you can really decide if the integrity of the shoe is there and it's worth the cleaning. So I ultimately decided that these were $10.99. I was gonna take a shot and I was gonna see what I could do with them. It was almost like a little bit of a challenge for me. So I did a deep soak on them. I used the pink stuff. I scrubbed them with a toothbrush. I threw them in the washing machine, and they actually turned out great. Now I share and disclose all of the problems with a shoe in the posting, and that is the best practice. Just tell people what they're in for. Okay, these are $350 sneakers. I have them posted for $99, and this is why. Let the buyer decide if they're in for condition. If they get them and go, hey, there's a swoosh missing on the side, because these sneakers actually happen to have Velcro and a various, like, it came with multiple swoosh designs. I said, hey, this only has 3. This is what you're getting. And that person decided they wanted them. They loved them when they got them. They were in great condition. So that's all I have to say on the topic, but shoes are a big money maker for me. I can spend $10 to $20 on shoes and make $90 to $125 sale, which ultimately nets me closer to that $60 average sales price. I think it's worth it. Don't forget the shoe section when you are outsourcing. Let's talk a few 8-day sales. This brand was totally new to me, but it looks super cute. The tag had my attention. I ran quick comps in Goodwill and decided to pick it up. It was $12.99. The brand is called Mirth. This was called the Mirth Bellum dress. I had it posted for $125 and I accepted an offer for $95. The next item is a Zyrina blouse. I've talked about this brand before. I have sourced it all at the same place and it does really well for me. I'm gonna put the tag up so you can keep an eye out for this brand yourself. I had it posted for $125. It also sold for $95. This is a fun one. I picked up a Dior Grandpa cardigan. This was vintage. I had it listed for $100, which is around comps. Comps could run $125 to $150. I sold it to an offer for $80 and I'm really happy with that. I did pay $12.99 for it. It was really cute. I contemplated keeping it because I am a huge cardigan person, but ultimately Denise likes the money. So next item to sell is a brand I always source, another shoe brand. I mean, the ASP is not super high on these, but it has a really nice solid price point, and that's Ms. Moose. These were the Verona booties, and Verona is... Last thing for me to note on the Ms. Moose is that metallic in general is hot for spring. Metallic ballet flats, metallic shoes, metallic booties. So if you happen to be outsourcing and see a metallic booty that's made of a really nice leather, don't hesitate on picking it up. The next item to sell was a Vuori jumpsuit and I had it listed for $68. I sold it for $51. This was an item that I received from a friend. It sold in 6 days. I would say Vuori is a very hot brand to source and sell, has a very fast sell-through rate. The next item to sell is a pair of Dansko professional clogs. I had them listed for $65. Yes, if I find in almost unworn, perfect condition Dansko clogs, I list them at $65, $85. I list them high. They're $150, $160 shoes. Don't sell your Danskos for $25. Take it from me. I sold them for $55 in 8 days. I don't have them overpriced. People want them. Now, I have sold a lot of Danskos in my time, and I have sold some that are just like had wear, visible wear to them, visible notice, marks, distressing. And so, of course, I adjust my expectations. But if you find a pair of Danskos that look like they haven't been worn, please don't post them for $30. The next item I sold in 6 days, I received from my mother-in-law. She sent it to me when she was done with it. It was a Marimekko purse. This was a very specific purse. They're no longer making this blue color, so it's an iconic Marimekko item. I would say in general, I source anything Marimekko that I find, and same for Orla Kylie. They're kind of in the same vein. They do like a very bold floral thing, so I'm just throwing it in there. Uniqlo collabed with Marimekko, and I always sell Marimekko Uniqlo collabs. This sold for $46 and it was very distressed. I could not get the stains out of it. I had it listed for $55. The person who bought it was so thrilled to find it, which I like. That is the cherry on top of this whole experience, when people find items you can no longer buy. 3 days, a Lululemon bra. Wow. So let me give you the details on this bra, because, you know, I have had Lululemon bras sitting in my closet for a long time. And for some reason, this sold in 3 days. This was the break-free bra in Culture Clash. So it had a really vibrant, fun pattern, and it was actually a really great style. So if you happen to see this style Lululemon bra, pick it up. I sold it for $30. It was listed for $36, 3 days. The next item to sell in 8 days was Hotter Comfort Concept shoes. So these are just very basic comfort shoes. They are from the UK. I had them listed for $42. They sold for $35. I will tell you, I've never sold this brand before. I picked them up because A, they were comfort shoes, and 2, they look like they had never been worn. So I am here for the shoes that really don't need any work to them, unless they're high-end shoes that are worth me investing my time. The last item to sell in 5 days that I got at the bins, and out of all of these items, I don't think any of those came from the bins that I just discussed. A pair of Mother Weekender Frey jeans. These are current on the Mother website. I had them posted for $155. I sold them for $139 in 5 days. I got these at the bins. Someone threw them back. Don't ask me why. I happened to be going from clothing to hard goods, and I looked over and I saw the M on the pocket and I was like, oh, hey. And I would buy any condition Mother jeans at the bins, and these were in impeccable condition. I'm not even sure if they were laundered once, and they're current on the website, so keep your eye on Mother. In general, Mothers are not a quick sell for me, but these, being the style that they were, went really fast. I love that sales price considering I paid $3 for them. Now let's move into my favorite category, and that is called reposts. So there's really no legwork on reposts, especially if you use an automator like Posh Sidekick. It does the work for you. If you don't have automation and you don't want to pay for it, no big deal. You just simply have to manually go in. You print out an inventory report if you don't have a spreadsheet that has this information. My spreadsheet has gaps in it. I come home and record right away everything that I purchased and what I paid. What I'm not great at is going back into the spreadsheet after I listed the item and putting the date that I listed. So I could pick up 10 items in a thrifting trip and I could be jazzed about 4 of them. They're new with tags. I can photograph them, get them posted, maybe same day, next day. There could be 6 other items that need a seam repaired, that need to be washed, that all of these other things. And so out of 10 items, you know, that first batch might get posted right away, and then down the road, it could be up to a month later that I'm posting maybe some of those items from that thrifting trip. So I like to use inventory report to get a sense of how old items are in my closet. You can simply just sort by age, and at the top we'll have, if you sort by ascending, it'll tell you how many days that item has been in your closet all the way down. Obviously start at the top if you see a number bigger than 60 and get to work. The first item in my reposts section to sell in 8 days was a pair of closed starlet jeans. Now this brand is sold by Anthropologie, not exclusively, but what caught my attention the first time I bought a pair of closed jeans, since I had never really heard of it before, the style is very interesting. They're a mid-rise, they're definitely a skinny style leg. What caught my attention though was that they were made in Italy, so I took a chance on them. Just like driftwood. I mean, driftwood's not made in Italy, but I just kind of took a chance on some brands that caught my attention. We see so many brands in jeans, and there are brands that stick out. So if something sticks out to you, go with your hunch. If the price point is right, it was $7.99 on these. Yeah, I'm gonna try it for $7.99. Now look, if I look at comps and they all say $15, I'm not gonna buy them, but odds are pretty low that if you find a pair of jeans made in Italy, that comps are gonna be $15. So run with it. Next item to sell in 5 days, and these have probably been reposted multiple times in my closet. I've had this in my closet for 9 months, a year, is a Rae Dunn Gnome Topper mug. I went through a little phase where I picked up some Rae Dunn stuff on super clearance, and it's pretty much all gone out of my closet except for one item. Do I recommend picking up Rae Dunn? No, I don't. But on occasion, I'm going to admit, it sells. I sold it for $18. I had it in my closet for $25. After a repost, it sold in 5 days. The next item to sell in 4 days after a repost was an Abercrombie & Fitch utility jumpsuit. It was in my closet for $36. I sold it for $25. I had paid $3.99 for this. Now, what's interesting about this jumpsuit is, like, this is another one of those items. Like, I have reposted it numerous times. I've had it in my closet since early 2022, and I could not sell the thing. I repost it, it sells in 4 days. No rhyme or reason. The next item on a first repost to sell in 3 days was a Patagonia Retro X fleece vest. It sold for $88. I had it posted for $98. This item had a lot of traction, but just people keeping their eyes on it, no real buyers. I do like selling this kind of vest when I find the original version. Patagonia they have reissued this, and some people seek out the original version of it. The next item to sell in 1 day after reposting is just an airy PJ romper. It was plaid flannel. It sold for $18 and I had it posted for $25. Speaking of driftwood, I sold a pair of driftwood Jackie jeans for $68 after 4 days of reposting them. These were gorgeous. My favorite pair of driftwood jeans I've ever sold. I loved the embroidery on them, and I picked them up for $10.99. I sold a Victoria's Secret Angels Online corset style bra top for $31 in 5 days after reposting it. I sold in 6 days. These weren't a repost, but I will confess, I have had these in my death pile for about 10 months. They came from my personal closet. They are a pair of Anthropologie camo crops. They were super cute, but they had some puckering to them. And so I just posted them for $23 and they sold. And drum roll please, the very last item to sell in 5 days after reposting it was an Athleta Weekender very long maxi dress, super soft material. It sold for $30 and I had it in my closet for $36. I went through a little phase where I was picking up Athleta. I have mixed feelings about Athleta because it is priced up at my local thrift store. I look for it now at the bins. So my personal advice is, hey, really pay attention to those items that I sold that were newly listed and sold in 8 days or less. The reposts are a little bit more of a crapshoot. It was probably just price point. You know how you get. If you're reposting items, I'm assessing the price on them. I may have listed something initially at $40 and then I listed it at $32 when I reposted it because I really wanted it to move from my closet. So take those with a little bit more of a grain of salt with those. Thank you for watching. That's all I've got on the 23 items that sold quickly for me in the month of April. I will be following up. April has turned out to be an amazing sales month for me. I've only had 1 day this month and it was on the 26th or 27th where I haven't sold something. So I have sold something every day, and a lot of days I've sold 3 to 5 items. So April has looked lovely for me. I'm gonna share what I've been doing and I'll go over all of my numbers. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you like this video, and I will be here to show you sides of the reselling business that you may not hear from other people. Take care, everyone. Bye.